Hi, um, thank you for watching this video. I would like to put it out there. This is my view, but in my view, depression, anxiety, they don't exist. So I don't know, there's the medical field, the medical practitioners make billions of dollars convincing people that they have depression or anxiety or both. How does that happen? Well, if anybody is new to this and new to kind of monitoring how the mind works, is the moment you think even a little bit ahead in your day, the moment you go a little bit from center, like, oh, what do I got to do today? You start feeling anxious. The moment you think about what happened the day before, week before, in your life, start feeling a bit down, sad, heavy. And usually that's how people describe depression and anxiety. Anxiety is usually like a jittery feeling, and depression is usually like a heavy feeling. So I'm going to use myself as an example because I was working through both feelings today simultaneously. Don't they usually appear simultaneously? And that's why the doctors will prescribe one pill for one thing and one pill for another. It's like, well, you have two pills now. Okay, so I'm getting personal here. So I recently started my own private practice. And I had a first client that went horribly. It blew up in my face, and in a way that things have blown up in my face in the past. So it was kind of, and I was at first I was like really surprised, but at the same time, my feelings, what was triggered through that event was situations that were almost like identical to this one. I won't go into too much detail, but again, it was like a pattern, right? And what happens to our mind, like when there's a pattern? Well, first of all, we seek it out. We seek out patterns as a confirmation. And when it happens, it's like, yep, that's it. And what was being confirmed there? So I'm going to go a little bit ahead. I got a second client. And on our first, right before this, the second session, I started feeling like a lot of anxiety. And I was already feeling it before with the previous client, but I just kind of wasn't fully grasping it or wasn't really paying attention. I just like thought it was superficial. Like, I got this, I know this stuff, you know, that's why I started my own practice. Like, I know my shit, right? I wasn't facing it deeply enough. I think I did meditate and journal about it, but didn't go deep. So now this anxiety is coming up again, and it's more intense. I'm like I really want this session. I'm really interested. Like, I feel like these sessions are not just me providing a service, but it's like I'm learning through them. So it's like, yes, I really want this type of client because I have so much to learn here. My anxiety was intense, like all day. I went for a walk, I meditated, I journaled. And what did I listened to healing frequencies, and I felt like all of that is still a distraction. Even listening to healing frequencies became a distraction from just sitting with it and realizing there's a few things that were coming up. But the main theme was this confirmation. So the fear was, what if this second client goes to shit again, just like the first one, right? And what does that confirm? And where did that habit come from? Well, I was shown memories of when someone from my family confirmed how horrible I am. So like I would share my vulnerability with them, like, something that was upsetting. I was a child, so like I would go to my mom and share something personal. And then time passes. And I just remember like a specific incident, like I was annoying my parents in the car and my dad, like just blew up. My mom hit me in the back of the head. It's like, that's why nobody wants you. No, that's why nobody likes you. And this happened multiple times. So that's what came up. And I started crying. It's like, this is it. This is what's the fear. This is the fear, right? So in that moment, I went back to those, the memories of somebody using my vulnerability against me, somebody confirming how awful I am, how horrible I am, how stupid I am. And then going forward in my mind, what if it's going to happen again, right? And again, because I've had so many incidences throughout my life of these confirmations. We all have these incidences because again, like our mind gets so set, like a setup, gets like a program, and then we seek out subconsciously situations that will confirm that program. And I continuously seeked out situations that would prove how horrible I am, how stupid I am, how it's not even like a specific label, it's just so horrible, And yeah, throughout my life, I internalized it so much. That's why the suicidal thoughts, came in and throughout my adulthood. Like, I definitely had like a bottle of pills open at one point. I was like, I just felt like I was the shittiest human being on the planet. I didn't do anything actually. I really didn't. I was like just trying to survive, finishing grad school on my own. So looking back, and if this was like a client, I would be like, you're incredible. But for me at the time, I thought I was a piece of shit. And this is what's coming up. Why am I a piece of shit? Because I was told years ago that I'm just so not good enough for anything. And how dare I start my own practice? How dare I try to help people in my own way? How dare I have my own strategies and my own passions? How dare I step out of the status quo, because like I'm using my own strategies that I've developed, I've studied, and I've been using it through an employer and I've been getting great results. But now I'm stepping out and this is my thing, and I'm figuring out on the daily, like, how do I even, have my own practice? Using the quantum universe, using the law of attraction, instead of like spending money on advertisement, I'm trying to manifest. So this is a perfect example. If a person, I've been in this state, years ago, where I couldn't get out of bed for like 3 weeks, and the mind was constantly going back to past memories and going forward. What if I screw up? Because I remember those 3 weeks because I was finishing grad school and I had to step out and actually be a speech therapist, and I was absolutely terrified. Because I felt such a failure, like I was such a failure, and I was going back looking for evidence of that in my past. I felt in, the future, I will screw it up. I will just, I will hurt a child, or I will just be absolutely horrible. And I did have situations that confirmed that because I believed it. And so there it is. If a person just stays in that state of looking back at memories, confirming what they think could happen in the future, they're going to stay depressed and anxious. It's going to keep wobble back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, to the point where, like, you know what, I need medication because I can't even get out of bed. But in reality, once you kind of have that perspective that that's all the mind is doing, is going back and forward, snaps out of it. So once I did this inner work, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that's right. Here are my fears based on what happened in the past, and I'm afraid that it will happen in the future. Bam. Depression, anxiety doesn't exist.